Here's a dinner party story from last month. Guy in his mid-50s, sitting across from me, casually drops that his neighbor just retired with $4 million. Then his brother-in-law chimes in, also retired, $3.2 million. Then someone mentions their aunt, $2.8 million. And I'm sitting there thinking, either I'm at the world's most statistically improbable dinner party, or someone's math is very, very wrong. Because here's the actual number, 3.2%. That's how many American retirees actually have $1 million or more in their retirement accounts. Not 4 million, not 3 million, 1 million. And 97 out of every 100 retirees don't even hit that. So either everyone at that dinner table was lying, misremembering, or confusing net worth with retirement accounts, which, spoiler alert, they absolutely were. This is the gap I want to talk about. The gap between what you think is normal for retirement savings and what's actually normal. Because if you're sitting on $600,000, $800,000, even $950,000, you probably feel behind. You probably read headlines about people retiring with multiple millions and think you've somehow failed. And that feeling, that anxiety, it's based on a completely distorted view of reality. So I'm going to show you exactly where you actually stand, why the numbers you see everywhere are misleading, and what it really takes to hit 7 figures. Because the psychology here matters more than the math. By the way, I built a free early retirement calculator because most online ones are mathematically wrong. It uses BlackRock and Vanguard logic to expose the weak points in your plan. And I only ask for your email to send the report, so I don't store any of your financial data. Link in the description. Let me give you the central image that explains this whole thing. Imagine American retirement savings as a massive pyramid. At the very top, there's this tiny platform where the $1 million plus crowd stands. That platform holds 3.2% of all retirees. It's small, it's exclusive. It's harder to reach than you think. But here's the problem. Financial media puts a spotlight on that platform. Every article, every headline, every retirement success story focuses on the people standing up there. So when you look up from wherever you are on the pyramid, all you see is that lit up platform. You don't see the other 97% of people below it. You don't see the median retiree standing at the $200,000 mark. You just see the top and you assume that's where everyone is. This distortion has real consequences. When researchers ask Americans how much they think they need to retire comfortably, the average answer is $1.5 million. $1.5 million. That number didn't come from a financial calculator. It came from media exposure. It came from seeing the 3 million and 5 million stories so often that 1.5 million started to feel like the baseline. And now you got people with $1 million saved who feel anxious instead of accomplished. People who are objectively in the top 3% feeling like they're somehow not enough. Let me show you what actually normal looks like. The median retirement savings for households between ages 65 and 74 is right around $200,000. Not 2 million, 200,000. And median means half of retirees have more than that and half have less. If you look at households 75 and older, that number drops even further to about $130,000. These are the real numbers. This is where most people actually are. Now, you might be thinking, wait, I've seen different numbers. I've seen reports saying the average retirement balance is much higher. And you're right. The average does come in higher, around $669,000. But averages are useless here. They get dragged up by a small group of extremely wealthy households at the top. If 9 people have $100,000 and one person has $10 million, the average is over 1 million. But that tells you nothing about what's typical. The median is what matters. The median is reality. So if you have $1 million or more, you're not just above average. You're in a completely different category. You have 5 times the median retirement savings in this country. 5 times. And yet, I bet a lot of people reading this who have $1 million saved still feel behind. Not because the numbers don't work, because they're measuring themselves against the wrong benchmark. Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about how people actually get to that top platform. Because it's not just about saving more. It's about who you are and how the system is built. Income is the single biggest factor. According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, higher income households have an average of $769,000 saved for retirement. Middle income households? $79,500. That's not a gap. That's a canyon. And it's not because middle income earners are bad at saving. It's because the math of percentage-based savings is brutal. If you're saving 15% of $50,000 a year, that's $7,500. If you're saving 15% of $200,000 a year, that's $30,000. Same discipline, 4 times the result. The system rewards high earners exponentially. Education plays a